Have the opportunity. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Are we there? Are we there? Are we having tech issues? Courtney, can you text me to see if we're having tech issues? Because y'all, I am telling you, it's our weekly Ask Me Anything. This is your opportunity to come on and ask me questions. So you can leave the questions in the comments. We did have a few pre-asked questions, so we're gonna dive into that party right about now. Let's dive into this question from After 12 Photography. I want to leave my nursing career behind and embrace my side hustle, photography. What do I need to have in place before I take that leap of faith? So, firstly, congratulations on you identifying what you want your next chapter to be. So many people wish for that, and you're at that point. So, number one, congratulations. And then number two, I have to say, there are so many ways to actually figure out how to pivot, how to move into your next career, but they never look the same. So please know I'm gonna throw out a lot of different ideas, and then you're gonna find something that fits and settles well for you. But I wanted to take a second and start with this question specifically because yesterday I had the conversation with a mentor, and we were discussing the differences that we see in a lot of starting entrepreneurs, starting business owners, that people will start a business, and then if they come across something and they realize I need to invest in my business, anything, it could be a tool in their business, it could be marketing their business, it could be investing in their business, half of the people will get to that place and say, I don't have money, I can't get the thing that I want. I don't have money, I can't find a way to invest, I can't buy that. And then the other half of these starting business owners will say, I don't have money, I'm gonna find a way to get it. I'm gonna find a way to save that money, get that money, ask for that money. And the people, the business owners, the entrepreneurs who are in the long game don't approach things as looking as definitive, because it's true. You might have $1 in your bank account. That could be true. But just because it's true doesn't mean that it's the dead end. You have an option. You have the option to say, I don't have it, therefore I won't go on, or I don't have it, I'm gonna find a way to make it, save it, find it, and move on from there. So what I hear is a business owner, what I hear is a new business owner who wants to leave nursing and get into photography full time. Cool. But I want to remind you and start this conversation by saying there isn't a timeline and there isn't pressure. Now, I get it. You probably want to leave nursing like yesterday. I too am just as excited and impatient for the next chapter in our life. But just because we add a timeline in our mind doesn't necessarily make it true. It's just the best case scenario. Best case scenario would be like, oh, I'm gonna leave nursing in 30 days. Cool, but where'd you get that number from, right? What I like to do is, sure, set an optimal timeline, but the way that you measure your timeline to make it not feel like you're a failure or that behind is that you're going to make shifts incrementally. Which means, like, sure, your dream goal is to leave nursing and going to photography. Awesome. But what small things have to happen between you fully leaving to let you know I'm on the right path, I'm making the right decisions? Now, in this particular situation, I could speak clearly to photography, is that you could say, my big milestone would be like when I book X amount of clients. Or another big milestone is when I have X amount of in my savings from photography. Or another milestone could be when I have signed contracts in the future for X amount of clients, right? You're gonna be putting these milestones to say, okay, I think I'm moving in the right direction, even if I'm not going as fast as I would like. Then what I want you to do is to set goals that will give you confidence that you're ready. Now, different people feel confidence in different ways. Timelines, education, familial support, finances. When I was leaving my job to become a full-time photographer, finances. I am the daughter of an immigrant. I grew up extraordinarily poor. Money for me is a trigger in my life. So in order for me to be confident moving my career, I needed to have savings. So for me, my levels of confidence, my goals were financial related. I told myself that if I could save up 6 months of my salary and what it cost for insurance. Because at the time, my husband and I had just been married and I was the one carrying the insurance through my job. So then we had to actually start paying our own insurance. So it wasn't just my salary that I had to cover, it was the salary plus insurance. The minute that I had saved up 6 months of salary plus insurance, then I was like, okay, I have clients in the future, I have savings for 6 months, and if it doesn't work in 6 months, I can go back and find another job. But for me, it was very clear things, a very clear path to what I needed to do, and then also understood that I didn't have any pride or ego to say I could go back if I needed. So my advice is to move incrementally, to set your own goals, to not be held to a timeline, and then understand that for you can find finances. For me, it was saving up to 6 months for my salary and insurance. But maybe for you, you decide, I'm gonna sell my house and I'm gonna live on the equity for the next year. Or maybe for you, you're like, I'm gonna move out of my apartment and I'm gonna move back home with my parents. I'm gonna sell my Mercedes-Benz, or I'm gonna return my Mercedes-Benz and I'm gonna get a Honda Civic so that I save that amount of money. Whatever it is for you, it's going to look different, but as long as you have a path of understanding how you are going to supplant the income from your job to the next decision in your life. Dana, social curator here, need help with freebies to offer my growing email list. I'm product based. We fabricate and make Ninja Warrior and obstacle course equipment. Wanting to offer freebies besides discounts. Okay, so Dana and anybody else who says I'm a product based business owner and I want to grow my email list, but please don't have me offer 10 or 15% discount when you sign up. Although, Dana, the reason why that is suggested is because it works. Like every time I go to a new website and they're like, save 15% on your first order if you sign up, I'm gonna sign up. Why? Because 15% of whatever the total transaction is worth it to me. But as a business owner, that lead should be worth it to you as well, because your hottest audience, the person who is most likely to buy from you, is a person who's already bought from you. I want to keep that in mind. Okay, so I just don't want to discount the fact that like discounts actually work. Now I'm going to go back now, Dana, I know you're in social curator, so it's going to be like repeating, but I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. It's really important for you to understand your ideal client. This is for any business owner. Understanding who you're targeting, because like in Dana's situation, she is a product-based business and she is targeting people who are Ninja Warrior, like trainees, like that's what they want. But my question to Dana and to anybody else would be like, but what stage are they in? Are they just getting started or are they super advanced? Because then once you really know who your dream customer is, you can offer education, insights, furthering the relationship based on where they are in their journey on their pressure points. It's not enough to say, here's a resource on X, but if that's not where your dream customer is, and if that's not what they're struggling with, then it's going to be dead in the water. I always tell people when it comes to creating freebies is to focus on solving their pain points. People will share their email address, share their phone number for text messages. People will buy depending on the level of their pain point. So I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and he is learning how to play the ukulele. And he's also a business owner. And so he was telling me how, he's online looking at videos on how to play the ukulele, and people are asking him to get on their email list. And so after he found this one teacher and he signed up for that person's freebie, he wanted to get a freebie. And he got the freebie, and then he's like, Jasmine, and in that week, I got like 5 emails about like how I need to buy this course. I need to buy this ukulele course, and this person had so much fun making the ukulele course, and this person's so blessed to make this ukulele course. And he said, in all of the emails, it was all about the teacher, their story, and them being the hero in their own journey. Like, it's all about me, how great I am at ukulele. And he said, what I learned through this process is that every time I send an email, it should never be about me. I am not the hero in somebody else's journey. I'm just a guide. And so then I asked him, hey, well, how would you frame these emails if you were trying to sell a ukulele course? And he said, he's like, the goal would be to understand that whoever's watching this video, whoever signed up for the freebie, they're just getting started with the ukulele. They actually don't care that you're really good at the ukulele. They actually don't care that you had so much fun making your ukulele course. What the email should be would be focusing on my struggles where I am as a beginner. I know that your fingers are chapped or like torn and you're trying to get them calloused. I know that you really want to play a complete song. I know that you envision yourself maybe around a campfire or a dinner table or a holiday gathering with your family and play a complete song where everybody can enjoy the moment. The difference between the way that you're speaking to people to get their information, to get, to build their freebie list, and then the way that you communicate, that's how we're gonna parlay into sales. But far before you ever get into sales, you have to find ways to continually serve. Yes, serve. Now, I know Dana will watch this video because Dana is committed. I know Dana's like, Jasmine, I actually asked a question about freebies. To which I will respond to Dana, it's never about the question that's being asked, it's about the underlying question. You want freebie ideas, but I'm just like, before we actually get to the freebie ideas, we have to understand that we must serve where they are and solve their pressure points. But you don't know how to solve their pressure points if you don't know who you're speaking to. But Dana, I know you're a curator and you've done the work and you've done all of our workbooks and watched our videos. You know who you're targeting. So let's just say, Dana, you are targeting the person who's just getting started in the market. And let's just say you're looking to build out freebies. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the person who's just starting out, wanting to be a ninja warrior and is looking for products. So then, Dana, I would make a video series, a 3-part video series, just getting started, like the 3 tips that you need to get ready for. How to best prepare for your first, course exercise, or like the proper grips, or 5 ways to shave 5 seconds off your course time, or whatever the case may be. You know how to speak this language. You know how to tap into the desires of somebody who's just starting out. Then once you know what they're struggling with, the freebie becomes that. That's it. The freebie becomes that. So, Dana, am I gonna say it's easy? No, but at least now you have the path. Okay, so there's a few live questions that are coming in right now. All right, Maria, I haven't had sales since last year. I feel overwhelmed and I have invested to huge programs and feel very low. What can I do? Well, Maria, this is a big question, and because I, number 1, don't know you personally, and number 2, don't know your business, and number 3, don't know how you've been marketing or building your business, it's hard for me to give a very specific answer. But what I can say is that sales are indicators of demand and or brand positioning and or solving a problem or a pressure point. So if you haven't had sales, it's because you are either not solving a pressure point, you haven't built a brand, or there's no demand. People don't want what you're selling. You could be missing one of the 3. You could be missing all 3 of those 3 things. The main point is going to be that you have to get feedback on your product or your service. Because you are sitting here and you're scratching your head and you're saying, Jasmine, I'm doing the work, but clearly it's not working. So if I were in your situation, I would turn to 3 to 5 people. One of them at minimum would be somebody who I'm very close with and I trust and I know they're gonna deal it to me straight. That would probably be, in my case, one of my sisters. I would reach out to an industry peer, somebody who is in my industry who gets what we do, and then I would ask them to give me very honest feedback. And then if you've invested in these really expensive programs, probably they're accompanied by way of like a group or group coaching or like a Facebook community. And then you can go in and you just like saying, this is my issue. And you explain exactly what you just did now. And you're like, I'm looking for feedback as to how I can get better. Because the fact of the matter is, if you haven't made sales, something is off. What that thing is, you don't know, because if you knew, you would fix it. So you're gonna need 3 to 5 people to clearly speak into, from their perspective, what they think is off. All right, let's dive into another one of our questions. Michelle asked, how can I stay motivated or excuse me, how can I help my clients and coaches on my team stay motivated? Okay, so I actually liked this question because motivation is a funny thing, right? To be honest, I don't know how to motivate somebody else. I don't. I hardly know how to motivate myself. I'm just being honest. And another very honest admission is that it's impossible to be motivated all the time. Like if I came on every week for these live chats and I was like, are you motivated? Who's pumped up? Yeah. Like it's hot air. It's a transmission of energy. I could show up and do the rah, rah, rah and put on Black Eyed Peas and let's jump in our seats. I could do that, but it doesn't change anything. I don't think that motivation is what a team needs. I believe that a team needs to develop discipline. I can teach people how to be disciplined, but it's not as sexy and it's not as fun as saying, I know how to motivate people. I would rather say, I'm so motivational. I know how to motivate people. I don't. And quite honestly, I don't believe in motivation. Motivation feels good, but I don't know how often motivation gets results. Discipline and doing something again and again and fixing it and tweaking it, that gets results. So if I were you and I was building a team, I wouldn't try to be motivating because people are motivated by different things. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by legacy. Some people are motivated by ease. Some people are motivated by family time. You can't be all things to all people. But if you come in and say, your version of motivation, you're gonna have to find your own motivation, and you're gonna do that by way of being disciplined. And the way, and I'm saying this to you because I do this as CEO of Social Curator. I don't want to motivate people to feel good about social media. I need to talk quite candidly about the discipline it takes to build a business online. Because number one, you need to have a business, right? But it doesn't matter if you are the best salesperson, if you're best team leader, if you really know how to build an amazing brand. If you could do all of those things, and that's amazing, that's great. But social media marketing, that's the gateway. You could be, you can have the best business, the best product, the best service. You can have the best team. You can have the best brand. You can do all of those things impeccably well. But if people don't know about your business, if people aren't talking about you on social media, everything beyond that doesn't matter as much. So I don't want to motivate somebody to be like, post on Instagram today. Have you done a YouTube video? What about your Facebook Live? I don't want to do that. What I want to do is to outline and quite honestly teach how to build habits and how to build systems. And that, ladies and gentlemen, just lost half of the audience right now. It sucks. It's not fun. You know, it's like, I don't want to wake up in the morning and be like, you know what I want to do today? I want to build habits and systems. I want to go on Facebook. I want to make a YouTube video about habits and systems. But I only speak my truth. That motivation is much harder to derive results because it's emotion-led. Discipline leads to action, and action leads to clarity. Action, even if you're like, whoa, that was a mistake. No, it wasn't. It was a lesson. It taught you what you shouldn't do. Great, let's try again and let's do something else. Why? That is a habit and that is a system, and that comes on the back of discipline. So once you have habits and systems and discipline, then you know how to show up even when you don't want to. Once you have habits, systems, and discipline, then you show up when you don't want to. And friends, that is motivation. That's that final piece. See, I want motivation to be the cherry on top of a cake. I don't want motivation to be the cake because the cake is empty. Okay. And on that note, friends, every week I come in, I have these just really quick flash fire Q&A questions. I actually am on my way. I have to go do my makeup and hair. Why am I saying this? I have no idea. have a long day of filming videos today. This month on the Inside of Social Curator, we talked about how to batch reels and batch videos because that is the future of Facebook, of Instagram, of LinkedIn, of TikTok. Video is the future. You can now pin your videos in Pinterest. And so for me, I'm doubling down on teaching people what? The discipline and habits and sharing people my exact journey. So bringing our videographer, creating videos behind the scenes of how we're all doing it. And then next week in the Inside of Social Curator, there's gonna be hundreds or thousands of us. We're gathering together and we're going to make a reel live. We're gonna have the music, we're gonna have the timeline, we're gonna tell you all the props. We're gonna do it together. Why? Action leads to clarity. Action, like the discipline that it takes to actually plan to make a reel and then post the reel, like we need all of that. So today I am going in and preparing a lot of videos to prepare what it looks like behind the scenes. I'll be sharing it and showcasing on the Inside of Social Curator. And I come in and I have these live chats because I am committed to helping business owners any point in their journey, wherever they are, to up level, leverage social media to build a brand and build a life they love. Like always, it is an honor and a privilege to chat. Much blessings. Have a great day.